My favorite book since childhood has been Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. I first read it when I was 9, and soon afterwards I asked my parents to buy Through the Looking Glass. Both books made a strong impression on me. Reading them felt like stepping into a completely different world, fascinating and unusual, unlike anything I had imagined before. Later, I reread the stories in different translations, and a few years ago, I finally read both books in the original English. Carroll's books are built largely on English humor and wordplay, as well as elements of folklore and linguistic nuance. They have great potential for use in English lessons, when teaching vocabulary, speaking, literature, cultural topics, and critical thinking. The analysis of wordplay, neologisms, false etymology, and absurd logic makes working with the text especially productive. Let me show you a few examples. Perhaps the most famous example is the phrase, "curiouser and curiouser."
Curiouser and curiouser, I find I grow curiouser.
This line can be used when teaching degrees of comparison of adjectives, since it contains an obvious grammatical mistake that Carroll uses intentionally as a literary device. The reader notices the unusual form, pauses, and rereads it, and then understands that it is deliberate. In this way, Carroll shows how amazed Alice is, to the point that her speech almost seems to break. In another episode, Carroll playfully reshapes the names of school subjects, reeling and writhing and ambition.
He explained that he had gone to school under the sea and learned strange subjects like reeling, writhing, and ambition.
A clear play on words appears. Reading becomes reeling, writing becomes writhing, and addition becomes ambition. This shift in sound creates a satirical effect. Instead of learning, the children seem to be reeling and writhing in class. Through this wordplay, Carroll gently criticizes the rigid and mechanical nature of education. Absurdity as a literary device is central to Carroll's writing. A clear example is the line, "jam tomorrow and jam yesterday, but never jam today," from Through the Looking Glass.
No, I don't want to eat today at any rate.
You couldn't have it if you did want it. The rule is, jam tomorrow, jam yesterday, but never jam today.
The absurdity lies in the promise itself. You are offered jam yesterday and tomorrow, but never today, and this repeats every single day. As a result, today is always excluded. This creates a logical paradox. Something is promised in the past and future, but never in the present moment. Since every tomorrow eventually becomes today, the promise is never fulfilled. Students can be asked to imagine a calendar that includes March 1st and March 3rd, but not March 2nd. Let me offer a few more ideas for working with the material. Quotes whose meaning becomes clearer to adults can be used to develop critical thinking, interpretation skills, and the ability to analyze subtext. Feel free to pause the video to look through the quotes. Quotes that even many adults find difficult to understand can serve as material for advanced tasks in inter-school competitions or academic Olympiads. Quotes rich in metaphor can help students study figurative language, develop expressive speech, and practice literary analysis. Quotes whose meanings have changed since the books were written allow discussion of historical context and the evolution of social values. Another interesting direction is exploring themes whose relevance has grown in modern times compared to Carroll's era. This makes it possible to evaluate contemporary trends and encourage lively discussion. There are also quotes that work well for motivation and personal development activities. Finally, an engaging idea would be to select 10 quotes that sound as if they were generated by artificial intelligence. A small experiment could be conducted. Students are shown one quote by Carroll and one ordinary sentence generated by AI and asked to decide which was written by a human and which was by a machine. The results may be surprising and could serve as a starting point for discussing the nature of creativity and language. This video was created as part of the course Flash, Multimedia Design and Use in the English Classroom. Illustrations from the public domain, sourced from Wikimedia Commons, were used in the creation of this project. Video excerpts were also taken from the films Alice in Wonderland, directed by William Sterling, and Alice in Wonderland, directed by Harry Harris, as well as from the YouTube channel Fizzy Pop Stories. The following AI tools were used in the development of the content. Text generation and translation were supported by ChatGPT and DeepSeek. Images were generated using ChatGPT and Gemini, and voice narration was produced with Google AI Studio.